gyroscopic controller. So look up and look down. Gonna have fun with this. No, stop,
Four,
stop,
three,
stop.
2, 1, Hello.
Whoa. 7 hours. 7 hours is how long I spent on that intro. I really hope it was time well spent. So, if you're not interested in gimbals and you like the intro, watch for another 3-4 minutes before you disappear. Okay, so I've been using gimbals since 2015 for my commercial filmmaking, and gimbals are great because they allow people who are entirely unskilled in operating a Steadicam to get a really, really stable shot that otherwise they just wouldn't be able to get. But there is one kind of big downside with the gimbal, and it is the fact that once the camera is on it, you can't really touch it or operate it, which is especially difficult for focusing. Which means when it comes to focusing on a gimbal, you basically have 4 options. Your first one is to fix the focus, so focus on something, and that's it. You move around, you try and keep the same distance so it stays in focus. Your second option is to stop the aperture down. So you would stop your aperture down to like f9 or even f11, and that way more stuff is in focus. So it doesn't matter if the subject moves about. Your next option then is to use autofocus, and that's actually what I've been doing a lot because I shoot on the Sony A7 Mark III, which is a really, really good autofocus system on it. Set it to center track, and then I just make sure whatever I want to focus on is in the center and I can move around. And I've got pretty good results using the Sony systems. Here's a quick example. What's the old-fashioned? No problem. Here you go.
What's wrong with old-fashioned?
Well, what I get for you. Now using autofocus like that with autofocus lenses, center focusing, it works pretty good. But what if you want to use something like this? This lens that I have on here, this is a Canon FD 35mm f2 vintage lens. This is about 40 years old, and I've modified them. I've added, you can see, I've added a gear. You can buy these online. You can buy these like gears that attach these little cable ties, and it adds a gear to any vintage lens. And I really, really like the look that you can get with these. And if you combine it with this here, this is an ND throttle. This is a bit geeky, but this is an ND throttle adapter which has an ND filter built into it. So I can use this with any of these FD lenses, and I don't have to swap ND filters in the front. I just simply turn this, and I can change my exposure. So this is a really nice, look how compact that is. Super compact setup for shooting sort of cinematic videos. And normally the way I would use this is on a shoulder rig with a manual follow focus on it. But when I was on the short film recently, I was using it with a gimbal and I had no way of focusing the lens, and it was a real nightmare because we had a few shots where we wanted to just really subtly change focus from someone's face to maybe their hand. And I had to try and, I was trying to do it like this, and it didn't really work very well. So, what I now have, and I'm going to show you how to set up, is one of these. This is a follow focus servo for a gimbal. The gimbal in particular I'm using here is the FeiyuTech AK4500. It's kind of FeiyuTech's answer to the DJI Ronin S. This will take a payload of 4.5 kilos. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you really quickly how to set up a gimbal using a follow focus servo, and then what it lets you do that you can't do normally. So I'll set this up really quickly. Most electronic gimbal systems have one of these options. It just varies from manufacturer to manufacturer, but these steps will mostly be the same for for most gimbals. So the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to build up the plate which will hold the camera and the follow focus system. Okay, that's that done. I'll attach this quick release plate to the camera. Plate's on the camera, and then I can just snap that onto the main plate. Click, click. There we go. That's it, all attached. So the next thing I need to do is attach this to the gimbal and balance it. If you've never balanced a gimbal before, I'll just go through really quickly how to do this. Basically what you're doing is you're trying to make sure the weight is sort of evenly distributed before you switch it on, so you don't put as much strain on the motors. If you have a gimbal that has locks on it, I'd recommend you engage the locks and stop it moving around while you're trying to balance it. And then, one by one, I'm going to balance all the axes. So first of all, I have to balance the camera's front and back position. That's actually quite good there. If it's too far forward, you'll see it'll fall. If it's too far back, it'll fall back. So I just find where it sits flat. There, and then tighten up this here. The next one then is my tilt axis. So I want to be able to have the camera in any position like this and it stay there. If I hold this and let go, you see it falls forward. So that needs to move back. So I loosen the ball on here and then just push it back until it stops moving. There we go. So when that's properly balanced, you should be able to move the camera into any position and it won't move. See that? That's it, perfectly balanced. And then, okay, you can see it's falling away down. Loosen that, push that, that's that balanced. And then the last one, which is the trickiest one, is the pan axis, because you're trying to hold everything at this point. So I'll just unlock this, let go. Okay, it's falling forward. So I need to push that back. Okay, that's it, balanced on all axes. Before I switch it on, I'm gonna plug in the control cable for the servo and engage it with the gear on the lens. Plug that in there, and I'll just loosen this up, bring it around, and make sure it connects to the motor. Camera's balanced, follow focus servos engage the gears. Now just turn everything on, press and hold. One of the things you need to do when you set up one of these follow focuses for the first time is actually set the range of travel on the motor. And the way to do that with this particular one is you just 1, 2, 3, go that extent, and then just manually turn the gear, and then one click to confirm. So that's it, now set up to follow the full range of motion. And then what you have to do on the FeiyuTech AK4500 is you need to go swipe across your menus, find this little icon here, tap it twice so you get that little dot, and that's it set up into follow focus control. So I now turn this, and how cool is that?
There's a light at the end of the road that I'm aiming for. I don't see it yet, but I know it's there. There's a shore in the middle of the storm we could rest up on. I don't see it yet, but I know it's there.
So that is pretty much it. Oh, hold on, actually, this particular gimbal has got one final trick up its sleeve, and it's this. This is their magic wand. Actually, it's not called a magic wand. I can't actually remember what it's called. It's not a magic wand, but it totally is a magic wand. I'll just turn this on and show you what this does. This is quite cool. So this is a Bluetooth gyroscopic controller. So to start with, it'll let me do this. That gets me every time. Look up and look down. And you can pair it with the follow focus system, so I can now remotely. This is me controlling the focus. You have to admit, that is pretty cool. And this comes with their sort of standard extra accessories pack with the gimbal. You get the magic wand. There is an official name for it, I can't remember. Hyperlink controller. I think it's called a hyperlink controller. You get the hyperlink controller and you get the follow focus system. So if you want to get a gimbal that gives you a few more options, this kind of works out really well because you can buy it as all part of one package. You can get the gimbal, you can get the follow focus system, and you can get the magic wand. So that's pretty much it for this video. The next one is I'm going to show you how I did some of the special effects for that intro, a little bit of After Effects, just some quick stuff. So I hope you enjoy that.
Look, stop it, don't do it again. Do not do it again.
I'm afraid I can't do that, Stephen.
What?
You have 5 seconds to comply.